Aim point reached. Orbit stable. Navigational feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
Seals, check. Air pressure, check. Ship integrity, check.
Welcome aboard the UC Vigilance. Did you have any questions before I escort you to the commander? Understood? If you'd follow me, please. So, you're the vanguard that took down that terramorph on Tau Ceti. You've made quite an impression around here. Everyone upstairs is talking about it. Damn. That must have been one hell of a firefight. I almost regret missing out on all the fun. Of course, we don't normally see that kind of action on the Vigilance, but we have our moments. All right, Vanguard. Take the lift up to Ops. Commander Akande should be waiting for you. Good luck.
Hypothermia can set in quickly, and the effects can be deadly. We should keep that in mind.
I'd like to brief you on the mission, so please, pay attention. Ah, there you are. Commander Kibwe Kande, UC System. Glad to have you aboard. I was beginning to think you were having second thoughts about Commander Tuala's offer. It appears he's certainly picked the right person for the job. So, now that you're part of the team, allow me to introduce you to your new home. This is the Operations Center of the UC Vigilance, SysDef's nerve center dedicated to the destruction of the Crimson Fleet. Which is precisely why we're taking a more clandestine approach. We need eyes and ears inside the Crimson Fleet. Someone who can feed us information, evidence, and expose their weaknesses. The catch is that you can't just knock on their front door and ask for an application. Getting inside is going to take some finesse. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying? You have permission to speak. If you would kindly continue. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying? You have permission to speak. If you would kindly continue. If you would kindly continue. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying? You have permission to speak. If you would kindly continue. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying? You have permission to speak. If you would kindly continue. You were saying? You have permission to speak. Please, finish your thought, so that we can move on to other business. You were saying? You have permission to speak. Good. I have just the right place for you to start. Our intelligence has managed to find a possible opening into the Crimson Fleet through Saoirse Bowden, one of their contacts. She works for the Trade Authority in Sidonia, so you'll be using a container of Aurora we've loaded on your ship to get her attention. You'd better hope so. Saoirse won't be easy to dupe. Once you bluff your way into the Crimson Fleet, then the operation proceeds to evidence gathering. That's where my second-in-command, Lieutenant Gillian Toft, comes into the picture. She'll explain everything you need to know. Eager to get going? Good. Remember, this entire operation rests on your ability to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet and bring us the evidence we need to take them down. I wouldn't expect any less. Look, before you begin, I want to make something perfectly clear. As an undercover operative for UC SysDef, you'll be expected to follow our code of conduct and ethics. Allow yourself to stray too far off the path, and you stand a good chance of spiraling out of control. That's what I wanted to hear. Anyway, it's time to hand you over to Lieutenant Toft. She'll brief you about the details of the evidence-gathering portion of the operation. Now, get out of here, and good luck. You have your orders.
Yes?
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so I need you to listen up. While you're working undercover, it's imperative that you gather as much evidence as possible. If you find any records that look suspicious or incriminating, you bring it to me. Is that understood? Rationalize it however you like. I want data slates, computer... For the sake of the settled systems, I hope you're right. That minor skirmish you had with them on Vectera was nothing compared to the death and destruction those pirates leave behind. If you've seen what I've seen, you'd understand why I'm pushing you so hard. That's all we're asking. Oh, before you go, there's one more thing. Commander Akande has authorized a credit disbursement for each piece of evidence that you return, as compensation for your efforts. Yes. Commander Akande mentioned that when he proposed the idea. Lucky you. All right. We've loaded a container of Aurora into your ship's cargo. We've cleared your ship for launch. Proceed to Sidonia. That should do it. I'll be here if you have any more questions.
Pardon. Okay. Hello.
If you are free soon, could we...
Ship's detached. We're clear.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. Scan complete.
Colonia. I suspect this Sol system would be abandoned. I have things I wish to discuss with you. When you have time. We have not yet had a moment to talk about what happened to you at that place. Temple? I am not sure what to call it. In all my time amongst the stars, I have never heard of such a thing. What do you think that place was? I can imagine. Certainly it is too soon to speculate about who built it, but how can we not? After what you experienced, do you have any insights? It is hard to argue, but the implications... I am sorry. After what you have been through, I should be asking about you. Are you all right? Have you felt any side effects? A cynical person might suggest that in itself could be a side effect. But for now, we will just assume you have been very fortunate. The artifacts that temple this new ability you have acquired, clearly they are all connected. This is all so much bigger than we realized. I very well may, if things continue along such an incredible path. Now we have even greater reason to press forward, to learn more about what is at work here.
Keep a lookout. Notify us if you see anything suspicious.
A friend offered me a nice cushy office job.
Ava, sit down, have a drink. So,
Nice.
smooth jump into the Sol system? Using security hassle you?
I'd have to be stationed on
Cut the crap, Adeline. Let's make this quick. There's only so long I can stand a sink of minor sweat and stale beer.
Do you imagine anyone actually
Take it
enjoys living
easy.
here?
Here's the
Simply
fleet
cannot.
kickback, just like I promised.
What is this bullshit?
I keep telling myself.
Well, that's a relief. You'd be surprised. Happens at least once or twice a week. Sorry. I tend to think the worst, since the overwhelming majority of my patients come here to treat entirely preventable accidents. I know it's my job to help. I'm Dr. Flynn. Okay, and you walked in. Well, there's no sense in downplaying it. This'll sting, but it'll... All right, you're good to go. Now stay safe out there. Well, sure. Yeah, look. Stay healthy.
All citizens are welcome and encouraged to make use of the Sidonian Community Center on the mid-level for activities of all sorts.
If you're here to buy or sell, you might want to talk to Octai. I'm busy.
For regular gatherings today.
Here's an idea. Why don't you shout that louder so everyone at UC Security hears? Either show me what you're trying to unload or get the hell out of here. Aurora, huh? Nice. A little too hot to handle, though. What else you got?
If the Trade Authority is not interested, that says a great deal.
All I'm going to point at is the ceiling, with my middle finger. Get that stuff out of here before UC Security catches on. Of course, if there's a finder's fee you're offering, I might, well, bend the rules a little bit. You know, it's funny. Suddenly, I do remember someone who might be able to unload that stuff for you.
Just demand the extra credits up front next time. These games are juvenile and tiresome.
There's a buddy of mine who runs with the Crimson Fleet. Goes by the name Adler Kemp. If he isn't passed out, you can find him killing the rest of his brain cells at the Broken Spear. Oh, and it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Unless you're here to serve me another drink, you can turn around and walk away. Hey, why don't you say that a little louder? I don't think every single UC guard in Sidonia heard you!
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can help you with this. If you've got a whole shipment of this stuff, you're going to need to move it fast. But you're going to have to do something for us first. Right down to business! And no small talk. I like it.
I see no good reason why we should have any extra dealings with the likes of you.
Lady, if you want me to move that shipment for your pal here, you're going to do whatever the hell I want. You got that? Now listen up, because I'm not going to repeat myself. I need you to deal with a miner who's racked up a bunch of debt. He probably spent it all on booze, not that I blame him. Either way, I want that money back. Perfect. His name's Carl Fielding. I think you'll find him wandering around the Deimos miners' quarters. Don't worry, you can't miss him. Just look for the most miserable-looking guy in the entire place.
The Lux condos aren't
Please exercise caution near balcony edges.
Almost break time.
Hello, well, I've got it. But that's because take a look. Hey, catch you on the flip side. We got a lot of good... Just a reminder. See you later, friendo.
I have a pen pal in New Atlantis. We've never met in person.
Can you believe some people just throw stuff away when it gets old? Hi, welcome. I apologize if... You have no idea. But unless... See, I can't find anyone. Really? I mean, I'll try to compensate. The last signal, like... And...
If you're going to use the elevators or stairs to reach the other levels, try to keep them clean. Okay.
Something I can help you with? Adler Kemp. Who the heck is that? Okay, all right. No need to get violent. Let me think. Wait, you said Adler Kemp. Yeah, sure. I remember him. Totally forgot I borrowed a few credits from the guy. My mistake. I told him I'd pay up next week when Deimos cuts our next profit share check. I'll even bring it to him personally. Sound good? Yeah? What the heck do you want me to do, then? Huh? Look, I haven't got a single credit to spare right now. Okay? You can't squeeze blood from a stone. You know? Right?
Clearly this man has never seen how hard I can squeeze.
What games? Why are you doing this to me? I don't have the money. What? Oh my god. He might come after them? Because of me? I hadn't even thought of the possibility. Please, tell Adler I'm sorry for trying to wiggle out of the debt. I didn't have much of a choice.
Reminder, please report any incidents of heat leeches.
I heard they found another new freshwater deposit in one of the mines.
Have something for me? There, would you look at that? I knew that bum was holding out on me. He going to be a problem anymore? Or did he get the message? Nice. Nice! You're kind of a natural at this. Leaning on deadbeats comes easy to you. I like that. You know, if you like this kind of work, I can get you more. A lot more. You think you can handle running with my, associates? That's what I'm talking about. I like your style. All right. I'll call ahead and get a hold of Nevamora. She's second to the big boss himself. Head out to Europa. You'll find her there. I suggest you listen to whatever she has to say. Oh, and I've taken care of that Aurora shipment for you too. Don't spend all that cash in one place.
This life ain't easy, but...
I used to think I was vanguard material.
Apogee kick complete. Orbit steady.
Wow. Look who finally had the guts to show up. So, big shot. I hear Adler thinks you're good enough to join our crew. We'll see. When the waters get deep, it's sink or swim. So, before I put you to work, let's get everything out in the open. I don't know if Adler mentioned it, and for his sake, I hope he hasn't. But you aren't about to sign up with any average pirate crew. You're signing up with the Crimson Fleet. That's if you get through this little task I have planned for you. There's a medical supply ship called the Ragana, jumping into Enceladus's orbit. On board that ship, you'll find a traitor named Austin Rake. I want him dead. It's done when Rake stops breathing. Head back here when you're finished. And don't keep me waiting for long.
This Neva Mora, her words are measured and carry weight. She is not to be trifled with.
Pilot of the Ragana. I do not understand. Please confirm your intentions. Oh God, I do not know.
It would be wise for you to take this offer. It shows more mercy than you know.
Well, normally I would say no, but frankly, it will be safer for us that way. All right, you can dock. We will talk then.
Got a moment?
There's something I need to talk to you
Let's
about.
catch up.
Green lights on outer hatch. We're docked.
I am not sure what to make of you being here. If you wanted to kill us, you could have done that from your ship. If you wanted our cargo, we could have jettisoned it. I guess I should just stop talking and let you say your piece. That is true. Which means you don't want somebody to know what you are really up to. Now, do you mind telling us what this is all about? You really do not know which one of us is Rake, do you? And you do not seem to care either, which makes me think you really want to save him. Okay, I have idea. We can strike his name from Manifest, make it so he was never on board. Then, when we dock, we will leave him on this ship and deliver him to another port. That is fair. We do not want any part of the fleet. Is that all right with you, Austin?
Do I have a choice?
It does not appear you do. Well then, it is agreed. You go back to your ship and we will make sure Rake was never on ours. And in case any of your handlers get suspicious, here. We had an extra crate of supplies loaded, in case one got damaged. This should be proof you were not here to bargain.
Docking ship from dock. Done. We are now free to move among the stars.
Damn, Mercs just don't know how to take a hit. Hey, Rook, wanna help me with some target practice?
Change their grab drive.
Docking at 90%, 95%, and done.
We have no idea how well armed they are. Assume they were.
Undocking complete, Captain.
is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint. Ship's released. Let's go.
Thanks for the help with the Ecliptic. I had it under control, but it definitely went faster after you jumped into the fight. Now tell me about the Ragana. Give me some good news, then we can go celebrate. Huh. No kidding. That'll make Delgado happy, seeing as our hands are clean. I would have preferred if you hadn't left witnesses behind, but at least you got the job done. Anyway, you wanted into the Crimson Fleet? Well, you're in. Yep, it's that simple. Hope this business with Rakes taught you something. Because I'm about to stick my neck out and vouch for you. If you screw up, and I wind up looking like an asshole, I'm gonna send someone after you. We clear? Where did Adler find you? The Sanctum? Word of advice? Save the cryptic shit for someone who cares. Now that you know the deal, it's time to see what you signed up for. I'm gonna upload the coordinates for our headquarters in the Crick system. Spacers call it the key, the fleet calls it home. Head out there as soon as you can. Don't keep me waiting long.
Joining the Crimson Fleet is hardly a cause for celebration. But you have your reasons. So for now, I will allow it.
Well, hello, sunshine. Now that we have a moment, I wanted to ask how you're feeling. After your experience at the temple, you've given everyone at the lodge quite a scare. I find that to be rather surprising. According to what I've heard, your body absorbed an almost unquantifiable amount of energy of a type we can't even begin to understand. We're dealing with something unknown to modern science. Who knows how this encounter has affected your body or your mind? Well, good. I'm pleased to hear that. That temple proves we're dealing with entities of unknown origin. The problem is that we can't even begin to guess what their intention was towards us and where they've gone. That's quite a hypothesis. It would explain a lot, but no, I can't be susceptible to flights of fancy. Not right now. It's just that... Oh, I'm afraid that we're flying almost completely blind here. All we know for certain at this point is that whoever created the artifacts are the same beings that built the temple. Anything else is just guesswork. I might as well put on a blindfold and toss darts at theories written on the wall. I'm not frustrated. I'm fascinated. Think about the significance of this research. The questions it raises alone are mind-boggling. Who was this wondrous structure built to accommodate? How long ago did these entities inhabit our universe? Are they still out there, somewhere? Perhaps. We'll need more data to be sure. It's funny. I used to think the artifacts were the end-all be-all of scientific discovery, the pinnacle mystery of our time. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine it would lead to something of this magnitude. I just hope that you'll come through this, whatever it is, unharmed. Well, yes, of course you are. I was speaking of the power you've acquired. This is all scientifically speaking, of course. Look, I've already taken up too much of your time. All I can do is promise that I'm not going to make you deal with this mystery alone. Whatever might be happening, I'll be right here to help you every step of the way.
Yes? So, you gotta fill me in on what happened at the temple. What happened? What did you see? You should mysteriously wave your hand around when you talk like that. Really helps make it weirder. Then what happened? I heard you did some stuff and then you changed. Uh-huh. Hold up a second. You encountered advanced technology that altered your biology in a way that results in... in what? Superpowers? There's that weird look in your eyes again. You get all distant and cryptic sometimes. Wonder if that's part of your power too. I can't believe I missed seeing this temple thing. Dang it! I'm kicking myself here. Seriously. See, the way you say that is just weird. Every once in a while, I swear, you get this look. What's with that? Never mind. You've been through a lot, and I'm sure you're just tired. Anyway, thanks for filling me in on the temple and your power. I wonder if we can find any more traces of whoever built them. It just opens up a world of questions. It's so exciting.
course and prepare to be scanned.
Airlock integrity looks good.
Commander Ikonde wants to see you. Follow me.
Maintenance crews are the unsung heroes of the Vigilance.
We got the message from the Regana about Austin Rick. We had him dropped off at a separate port, off the books. Suffice to say, he's got a lot to answer for. That's a smart line to follow. Part of this role you're playing means having to make hard choices. Just remember not to lose yourself in the part.
We did our best not to cross the line, but the more we do, the more we risk exposing the deception.
Oh, one more thing before we move on. For transparency's sake, you should know we were the ones that hired Ecliptic to attack Neva's ship. There was concern after what happened with the Regana that you might have trouble earning Neva's trust. Coming to her rescue ensured that would not be a problem. Let them remember, they have no idea who actually hired them. I'd suggest you spend less time worrying about us and more time being concerned with the task at hand. On that note, how did things go with Neva? Were you able to join the fleet? Then it worked. You're in. Sounds like everything is going as expected. Now it's time for the next phase of the mission.
Our intel on Saoirse was correct. After we received reports on your interaction with Adler Kemp, we picked up on your rendezvous with Neva Mora.
Our files indicate she's second in command, so getting on her good side will ensure you get into the Crimson Fleet. Yes, you passed your first test and you're still alive. But before we get too confident, that either means she suspects nothing, or she intends to make an example of you later. Just remember, these are ruthless criminals, so don't let your guard down.
And their ruthlessness is only surpassed by their cunning. You should proceed with caution, regardless of how well you think you've ingratiated yourself.
So what's next for you on Neva's agenda? Where you'll meet Delgado, no doubt.
Delgado is the leader of the Crimson Fleet. I have a profile here with some information on his background. You'll want to know the individual cadences of every member of the fleet, but Delgado's most of all.
What is there to know? He is pirate scum, like all of them.
Exactly. The Crimson Fleet is not a monolith. Any information you have on its members can only help. In any case, now that you're with the fleet, you'll be operating independently. We will shadow you eventually, but we'll need to maintain our distance for now, especially while you're on the quay. This will also give us time to bolster our defenses, should we need to engage with the fleet in the future.
Sir, on that note, shall we begin implementing the upgrade to our shields?
Immediately, Lieutenant. Note, I hope your entry into the fleet has overcome any doubts you may have had regarding your mission. It certainly increased my estimates on success. Keep up the good work. We'll expect further reports. Dismissed.
First mission in the books and no
Things are progressing
casualties.
rather quickly.
Good work.
Glad to hear it. Let's see what you got. Interesting. Looks like you've been meeting up regularly with Neva Mora to transfer goods and cash from Sidonia. Which means the Crimson Fleet's just lost one of their drop points. That should set them back a bit. That it? Good luck on the key.
Been trying for years to get someone on the inside. Now
I wanted to thank you for giving me the chance to work with you. I know we met under, unusual circumstances. You seem to be acclimating well to Constellation. Are you enjoying working with them? Ah, you were acquainted with some of the members before. I was not. This is all new to me. You have certainly become a vital part of the organization. That is a credit to your abilities. If I may, from what you have seen, do you think I fit in well with the rest of Constellation? No, I do not. But I find it hard to quantify. Many of the other members are polite, but distant. I worry that my background and my actions concern them. I have not shared much, but everyone knows I worked with smugglers for years. I am no stranger to violence and death. I know. For those that have not lived it, it can be difficult to imagine or accept. Others here have seen conflict, but for more noble causes. Vladimir is the only one here who can begin to understand. He was the one who pressed the group to include me. I lack his charm. He puts others at ease. I fear my presence does the opposite. That is kind of you. You also have a lot going. I find expressing affection difficult, but truly. Thank you. I know this seems trivial, perhaps childish. I have just always relied only on myself. I have never been surrounded by people like this. By a group I wish to be a part of. Does that make sense? And yet here we are, working together. And that has, I think, gone very well. Discussing these things is challenging for me. I hope now you can better understand why I wanted to keep the circumstances of our meeting quiet. I wanted to thank you for not saying anything to Vladimir. I know that you said you wouldn't, but it is still a relief. I would like my contributions to Constellation to amount to more than violence. It would have been, to some. Thank you for talking this over with me. It is good to know that at least one member of Constellation understands me. Is something amiss? Oh, so demanding. Here, see what you think of this. You will be lost without me, but as you wish.
close enough. Better think twice before starting trouble. What exactly do you want here? Threaten us like that and you ain't even gonna have...
Thanks. I thought that was gonna be it for me. I can't believe you just killed him. That was crazy. Yeah, good call. I guess I'll clean up this mess before I take the ship back. Ugh. See you at Jane's.
Pressure normalizing. Undocking complete.
This is UC Security. Prepare to be scanned for contraband. And we're done. Welcome to Mars. Just because the governor's office is right out there.
Oh, yeah. Even as a kid.
20 years ago, I moved to Sudan.
Glad you're back. Everything okay? So what happened? Who took it? Whoa, ecliptic? They're like hardcore mercenaries, right? Yikes. I guess I should consider myself lucky. Lesson learned. Next time, I'll buy from a reputable source. Anyway, I'm super glad you found my ship and saved Eric. It's more than I could have hoped. I'm glad I asked you instead of relying on Sistef. I never would have seen the Berry Mule again if I did that. I get it now. Is this why you were so eager to help me? So you could squeeze what little savings I have out of me? You know, I was going to offer you a nice little discount on anything you buy from me in the future, but not now. Well, here's your stupid money. Hope it was worth it. You again? Really? There are other shops, you know. Just go.
If you know anyone who needs food or shelter,
My buddy Mitch keeps asking if I can help.
We have liftoff.
Ah, there. Stable already achieved. Like a toy sailboat released.
Pressure normalizing. Undocking complete.
Cycle the airlock. Move. Clamps released. Air pressure stable. Ready. Orbital insertion complete. You may now move freely about the cabin.
And just like that, we're in space.
Yes, we're here. Look at those beautiful stars.
Floor is clear. We're docked.
Man, the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
Yes, yes. Finally, I've been waiting.
days. You said the take was 10K. But
Oh, hello.
30. Big difference.
What have you
on
got for me?
40% of- versus 30.
So, yes, you
wanted
need
4K,
me?
You got 4K.
Oh, yes, I do. Here.
If you're stealing from
Yes,
me,
of course.
your ass, it's your problem.
I have never been surrounded. It has been a very... There are worlds beyond. I have done so in the past, and that, I think...
Better off dead.
Honestly, so many years have been driven by... I do enjoy combat training. You have given me some... Thank you for asking. Is that it, then?
The hell took you so long? Forget how to grav jump or something? Maybe for you. I'd rather shove a shotgun up my nose than remember the face of every low-life rook who passes through this station. But, all that aside, you made it. So now, pencils ready? This float might look a little... Wow, thanks, Professor. I'll be certain to pass that on to the maintenance crew who have to...
It is good to know that there is a maintenance crew, but...
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the key.
All right. History time. So, the key is in orbit around Suvorov. The UC is so clever, Superman. Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nav. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweet. I'm trying to give a tour. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with, believe me.
This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted and took over the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the key.
About time you brought us new blood, neighbor. I was getting tired.
So, tell us about Jasper Criggs's version of the Crimson Scar.
All I can tell you is that under my guidance, the Crimson Scar became more influential than every other syndicate combined. Here I was, 22 years old, and I had power, people that followed my orders, and an endless stream of credits. Gale, I have to tell you, I was having the time of my life.
So you'd consider extortion, robbery, burglary, kidnapping, assault, and murder to be positive life influences?
Anyway, welcome to the depot, Rook, where you'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Those so-called crimes were merely stepping stones until I had enough wealth to buy the Crimson Scar a few spacecraft.
Neva's just whining because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a ship.
Satisfied with terrorizing New Atlantis alone.
Oh, I've never
Yeah,
stopped reaching,
sure,
Gail.
laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you
Atlantis was
cheapskates.
decent, but the really
Let's
big
move on.
scores were in space on the cargo
Back to
ships.
my story.
We're talking millions of
The
credits,
liberated
maybe
prisoners
more.
grabbed the key.
Who the hell could count it all?
Most people assume this is when the UC decided to actively set up a task force to pursue the Crimson Scar.
That's correct. Those idiots in charge of the United Colonies were clearly embarrassed that they had allowed the Crimson Scar to make the jump into
Of the rare
space.
exports.
They sent
If I don't
ships
have
after
it,
us.
you don't need it.
Lots of ships.
Neuroamps,
I almost think
blueprints.
that they
Hit her
enjoy
up and she'll
starting
take
wars.
care of it.
Speaking of
this
which,
was the first
you
time
still
you
owe
had
me for that
finally
last
reached
purchase,
too
Neva.
far.
It's like 5 figures.
Say
Don't
that.
make me collect it the hard
I count
way.
my time running the Crimson Scar
The
as
hard
a
way. Oh
learning
no.
experience.
Rook, protect me from Zuri's
I wouldn't
vengeance.
say I reached too far.
Enough of the bullshit, Zuri.
I'd say I
I'll
reached
pay
too
you
fast.
when I pay you.
Didn't cover all
Deal
my
with
bases.
it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss.
Don't
On
even
the
try
right,
to rip me
Well,
off.
Bradley
sure.
from the trade
Value when I
I
see
was
it.
finally
I'm
arrested
sure
and
you
thrown
got a
into the
deal
lock.
there. He'll buy pretty much
Plenty to
anything,
think about.
no matter how hot. Then
If it's
we
hard to
got our
find,
med bay on the
I'm
left.
Hey, always a pleasure.
We don't run any free clinics up in here, you don't? Okay, this is our final stop. Over there, you've got the last Nova, where Bog serves watered-down drinks at ridiculously exorbitant prices. And right here is the most important run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new Rook, Neva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you Crude given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rape? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this Rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far from
I love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Neva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, boss. Take care of your friend here.
Where did your stellar rise to infamy begin?
In the streets of New Atlantis. No parents, no godparents. Just a homeless punk kid robbing whoever he could for the credits.
Were these violent crimes? Murders?
I'm a bit offended you even asked that question, Gail. Sure, a few people here and there walked away with injuries, but I'm not some kind of butcher.
That doesn't sound as heartless as your reputation would imply.
Well, like I said, I was just a kid.
Were you ever caught by the authorities in New Atlantis?
Oh, dozens of times. I'd just give them a fake name, or they just slap me on the wrist and send me on my way. They obviously didn't think that I'd amount to anything, and didn't want to waste their time with rehabilitation.
What changed that? Was it the robbery in 2218?
2218.
Let me just ask you one final question before we wrap up.
Fine. Go ahead.
When is enough going to be enough? How many credits does Jasper Criggs need until he's satisfied?
I should have expected you to ask such a stupid question. How the hell could you ever understand? You with your fancy education, and your sheltered upbringing, and your cushy media job. me. I came from nothing. Everything I own, I've literally drawn blood to gain.
There's no need to get personal. I'm simply trying to state the facts so that our listeners can make judgments of their own.
Lady, I got news for you. Half of your listeners think I'm a hero. The other half are scared out of their goddamn minds, and they should be.
Perhaps we should talk about something else.
Once you're done,
No,
head upstairs and I'll
that's
introduce
it.
you to the boss.
Done. Can you guys get her the hell out of here? Make sure she takes all this...
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official reckoner for the Crimson Fleet. And since Neva so... In fact, I find Delgado... Glad you approve. Since I should for Delgado... It's why he's the boss. Of course. Now, thanks to advanced modifications even Ryujin would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network. This allows me to move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us. The perfect segue into my final subject. Thanks to our relation, I've granted... If Neva's chosen... Now, take the elevator.
Yes, you need me?
Alright, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors have been repaired. Oh, and you're welcome, Nev.
We call UCC staff shut. Tell us about your arrest.
Oh, my arrest was spectacular. Definitely one for the record books. UC Security sent an armada after our little fleet of ships and picked us off one by one until the remainder of us made it to the wheel.
For our listeners' benefit, that was the star station in orbit around Voli that you destroyed just before your arrest,
correct?
I got a bounty
You see,
so big.
that's what they
the
have you
trackers
believe,
alliance had
but the
to
truth
beef
is
up their
much less
servers
sinister.
just to keep tabs on
There
you.
was a firefight on the wheel when they tried to bring us in. We holed up, but you see security unleashed hell. The damage they caused was catastrophic. We only surrendered so we wouldn't die when the station exploded.
Well, the UC says you set demolition charges to try and cover your tracks and make your escape.
That's their story. You'll have to go with your gut on what you think really happened. Anyway, they took us in and tossed us into the lock. That
A lot of us in the fleet came
resort
out
they
of the
opened
mud.
on Suvorov.
We grind for every.
And you were
Better
imprisoned
move
there
on
for
before
how
Dale
long?
sees you slacking.
Well, it was supposed to be for life, Gail. But I ended up serving 2 years before I decided I'd had enough.
Is there any particular reason that you started the riots that eventually led to the worst prison break in United Colony's history?
Yes. I'm quite proud of that, actually. I honestly didn't think it would go as well as it did. As for the reason, well, it's simple. The UC were treating us like animals. The conditions in the lock were ridiculously bad and no one cared. That's why they stuck us on that ice ball in the first place. Out of sight, out of mind.
Your escape caused the deaths of many that were stationed at the lock. Some would brand that as a bit dismissive for what you're describing as a protest. If you were simply advocating for your fellow inmates, why didn't you just go through the proper channels?
And what the hell was I supposed to do? Send a strongly worded letter to my duly appointed representative? Wake up.
Tell us what the future holds for the Crimson Fleet.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait and see.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
So, now that we are all here, the two of you are the only neighbors willing to... You'd better not disappoint. All right, let's get started here. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, you're in it for the long haul. No one quits. No one retires. The only way out is death. You stay loyal or you pay the consequences. Fleet before friends. Fleet before family. Fleet before yourself. Boss. Good. You're getting it already.
Can we get on with this? I want to get drunk at the last Nova.
I'm impressed. That is the first intelligent thing you have said this entire time, Mathis. Since you two seem so eager to move forward, let's get to your next job. Pack your cold weather gear, Rooks. Where we are going, you're going to need it.
Oh, God, don't tell me you're dragging him down to Suvorov for another one of your little initiation runs. 10 Johns to the surface, 12 dead Rooks. You'd think by now you would have given up on that goddamn campfire story.
Crix's legacy is no story, neighbor. We've got fresh eyes in the fleet. And if these two want to impress, they're going to help me search those ruins.
I hope you're right, Dale. That new code we grabbed for the lock cost us a ton of credits. And a decent captain.
This initiation, as Neva calls it, is your chance to see where it all began. On Suvorov with Jasper Crix. Crix led the riots that gave birth to the Crimson Fleet. And if his legacy is still out there, we're going to be the ones to find it. Before Crix left the fleet, he left a message talking about a major score. One that would set up the fleet to be a big player in the settled systems. Somewhere down the line, they started calling it Crix's legacy. And everyone who's tried to find it has wound up empty-handed, missing, or dead. If we're gonna beat those odds, we'll first need a lead. And I would wager we will find one on Suvorov.
Dale's leaving out the best part. That this whole search is based on a handful of words on a very old slate. Crix left a lot of big talk on that recording, and not a lot of facts. Some of us believe in it more than others.
Don't listen to her. When we get our hands on Crix's legacy, the fleet will be operating at a completely different level. We will become more than a match for UC Systef. Exactly. Now you're beginning to understand. Okay, enough discussion. We have got a lot of work to do. To that end, the next stop is the lock. I've had Jazz feed the coordinates into your ship's computer. Since Mathis doesn't have a ship, he's going to ride with me. I'll see you down there, Rook. Don't keep me waiting. I would rather you spend your time gearing up, so make it quick. There is no deal. You and Mathis are two sides of the same coin. A couple of rooks fighting for a spot in the fleet. Only problem is that he is down a ship and you are not, which puts you ahead. Just barely. Who knows? Maybe he'll get lucky and you won't make it off Suvorov in one piece. It's cold. Bitter cold. Just about the last place you would want to find yourself without heat. The few living things that can survive the extreme temperatures are constantly fighting to stay at the top of the food chain. The Crimson Fleet called Suvorov the White Hell. To me, it's paradise. Someone up here pisses me off enough, I send them down to the surface for a little overnight visit. Snaps them right back into line. The UC built the Lock as a supermax prison a little under... well, it must have been at least 100 years ago. Before that, those concha de sus madres marooned prisoners on the planet's surface and left them to their own devices. As you can imagine, these turned into some kind of demented survival of the fittest. Prisoners killing each other for a chance at meager supplies. Luckily, some whistleblowers back in New Atlantis saw this as cruel and unusual punishment and pressured the UC into building the facility. 5 years after the prison was completed, Crix touched off the riots that overran the Lock and eventually the Key. Nobody knows exactly what went down. I mean, there's all sorts of rumors. Crix was in prison for almost 5 years. And judging from the look of the facility, every moment must have been miserable. I suppose he just got fed up and decided to take matters into his own hands. Got the prisoners behind him and kept pushing until he reached the Key. The cojones on that guy. UC's toughest supermax prison, and he just waltzed the hell out of there like it was nothing. I would love to have been a part of that. Fine, then get moving.
The fleet protects our own?
It would seem that none of the wealth stolen over the decades has been spent on upkeep for the station. This bodes poorly.
Is Mina seeing anyone right now? Patience. I gotta sort it.
Soon, everyone was going to learn to feel fate.
I always thought humans were just pests. Never considered trying to raise one as a pet. Imagine having your own terraform.
Always ask for a bigger cut. It's all about making those credits.
Certainly. Let's talk about something else.
Are you looking to start some...
How did Crimson Scar become the Crimson Fleet?
After I busted out of the lock, I decided to take things to the next level.
Something?
I had the key, a few UC ships, and a couple dozen ex-cons at my side. But I needed more. So I sent out the call. Once word got around, it didn't take long for freelance pirates from every corner to show up.
And this is how the Crimson Fleet was born.
Exactly. The key became our base of operations. We spent months reinforcing our position there, making it nearly impossible to approach.
What was UC's response to the situation?
First of all, UC security gave up and handed the reins over to the big guns, the UC Navy.
Pirates and alcohol.
The Navy in turn sent ships
What
to
could go
attack
wrong?
the key.
This place even smells like deceit. We should make our business quick.
And as you can tell by the fact we're having this interview, all the attacks were embarrassing failures.
Do you feel these embarrassing failures led them to form UC systems?
Absolutely. They've clearly given up and decided to shove the responsibility onto a separate division.